Nick Gilkins outside of London Stadium, West Ham Fan TV. Controversial at the end there, mate. We scored 4 goals today, only given 1.
Yeah, of course, yeah. I think I'm not sure about the Antonio one. Like I say, I've got to see them both back, but I think that second one there, I know a few people that sit down that way have said, the post is in the way, how can you see it? Is it a goal, is it not? At the end of the day, if it's not clear and obvious, you've got to give the goal. Why is it taking 4 or 5 minutes? We played 103 minutes today, for what? I just don't, I think the game changed when Antonio went off. I know they made a load of changes, Villa. They had a game in a week as well. They brought that geezer that scored the goal. And I think he changed the game, and we tried to sort of, counteract that, didn't we? And, it largely hasn't worked. But I think we can take good positives out of it as well. I think the first half especially, I think we were good. But second half we dropped off the pace, especially coming from Thursday. I know they had a good result Thursday as well, but the way that we come out and the way that we had a job to do Thursday, we knew that we needed to do that, and that was a great result. And we come out similarly trying to do that today against a good Villa side, and I think we need to understand the fact of how good they are. They sort of nullified us a little bit more. Second half we switched off a lot when you need to keep the composure, and yeah, it just feels like a defeat. I think we should have been.
Listen, we started the game off, we went attacking again, but we got that goal.
Yeah.
And we eventually we started dropping off, and then the negative tactics come into play.
I think we let them back into the game, didn't we? I think that was just rewards that you get when you're going to get a few heads down and that a few get off the pace a little bit. Trying to keep that higher tempo, and especially after Thursday, you thought you'd come here and we'd keep that tempo going. No reason that we couldn't. I just think taking Antonio off at that point, I said, I understand why he's done it, and reading into the game, he's trying to nullify other players and try and sort of match them, for want of a better word, and it just doesn't happen, does it? So I think that's critic with Moyes on that front, and hopefully he does get that. It's a big decision.
He's taking steps in the right direction. I mean, he could have brought Ings on today. Ings nearly scored an hat-trick in the last game he played. He ain't played a minute since.
No, exactly. Yeah, I think he certainly knows where the goal is when we need big goals. He's a poacher in and around the box. Fox in the box, and I thought at one point he was coming on. When he brought on Cresswell and Ward-Prowse and that. I think Emerson was a bit off it. I don't know if he's 100% fit. Maybe they've rushed him back. Maybe he's got another tweak or something. Hopefully he's not, and that's a bit of a precautionary one because we need him going forward, especially with drawing Leverkusen now. Them games going to come up thick and fast. You've got to beat the best to go through and continue on and progress like we want to be doing. So they're going to be tough ones. But I think, like you said, we've been done the last 3 games now for VARs. Freiburg away, this one. 2 in the same game as well is, it's going to be controversial. It's going to be spoken about. It ruins the games. You don't know whether we've fucking scored or not. You don't know whether we can celebrate or not. And I think Villa know that they've got away with one there. I think their idea was to, when they got back in the game, their idea was to go on and win it. And in fairness, before we got that controversial one and that decision, I think they looked like they were more going to nick it than we did. So I think away from that, a draw was probably a fair result. If we'd have taken more chances, and I think we've done our bollocks massively on Thursday, and we tried to do that again today. It's very tough on the players, I know that, but coming against a good Villa side, so I think taking all into account and taking away all that stuff with VAR, and it's got to be taken out of the game. I would like to adopt foreign referees into our game as well.
I would like to adopt something where we can know what's going on.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think this VAR is questionable as it is anyway. But at the end of the day, if it's not a clear and obvious one, and that's what it's in there for. So if you're not going to use it to the fucking detriment that it needs to be used for, then what's it doing there? I think everyone will want it out of the game. When it goes against you, especially like it has twice for us today, like I say, I need to see him back. But we haven't lost a game. Let's try and drive forward, and what we've got coming up now, break coming up now, and then games coming up thick and fast as well. So we need to be ready for them. Let's get back on the training pitch and train well and come together as a collective. I think we've done that largely today, that we come together and we worked hard, and just not to be at the end. So let's keep going and carry on.
Cheers, mate. Thank you very much.